hey, you go to that pass and looks like they weren't expecting it at all.
You look at that Vikings sideline and the energy involved with there. The band is playing over here, but it looks like the Vikings can't even find a rhythm, even with the band playing. It's just been
still early on, too much football to be played. We'll see adjustments by the Vikings for sure.
Well, King also, that's his first passing touchdown since the second half of 2 weeks ago. It's been a while against L.A. Harbor. They have yet to – it's been quite some time. But nevertheless, you'll take a touchdown when you can get it. It's been 4 trips for the Tigers inside the opponent's 30, and this time they cash in with 6. It's been about time. 5:02 to go before the break. Don't count your chickens just yet, as the Vikings still have a kick up their own sleeve as well, as their run back is out to the 23-yard line. The Tigers, outside of one long touchdown drive, they have been scoreless over the last, counted, 15 minutes.
Definitely have been, but right here with 4:55 remaining in this half, they look to grind out that clock and hopefully get a score before that time ends.
I think that was potentially, if the Tigers can end up leading this game at halftime, even if they don't, the most impressive offensive drive of conference play has to be their 99-yard scoring drive in 10 plays, chewed up 4 minutes, and Jermel Walker capped it off with a score. Now the Tigers go back on defense, and for one of the first times since the L.A. Harbor game, they're defending a lead. Ontario Bateman on the call, and out he goes to the 25, a gain of 2.
It seems like for the past 2 weeks they've been defending the lead just late in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, this has been a ball club that has trailed for a majority of conference play. Of course, the L.A. Harbor was a different story, but against Mount Sac, boy, partner, they trailed for literally since kickoff. That was a team that had absolutely no business winning that game, but still figured out a way to get it done. And with a win, not only will they clinch the National Central Conference, but they will have beaten the 2 top dogs in that conference, and also the top dog of the South in Fullerton College. And then they also had their number against Saddleback as well, which is vying for a division lead in their respective conference. So that'll be literally, they not only has Riverside had the top overall record to this point, but they have beaten every top dog in their way.
It's a confident group. Before kickoff, I was down there talking to them, and they all have this calming way of being. They don't get into all the hype. That's my job and your job.
Right.
Their job is just to play and execute.
And they have done that to the best of their ability. Riverside, boy, they are squeezing every single ounce of potential out of all of these guys. As Potter fires to a wide-open target across the 25, squirms to the 30, and that'll be a pickup of 10, maybe 11 there out to the middle of the field. A nice grab made and near a first down.
Right there with the catch, Michael Witt. A strong connection they have right there, both out of San Pedro.
Yeah, that's a 11-yard pickup, third catch of the day for Michael Witt. 3rd and 3, what was a 2nd and 15. 3:37 to go. Powder looking left, fires that way, and absolutely no communication there on that one. They weren't on the same page, and heck, they weren't even on the same book there on that pass. Incompletion, make it a 3-and-out.
Yeah, Daquan Hampton right there was running a streak. Potter was throwing that back shoulder pass. No communication right there.
Well, the Vikings, in what was seemingly a century ago, 12 minutes since their last scoring drive. Ever since, they've had to punt the football 3 times. And even that kick that went inside the 1-foot line, seemingly for the Tigers, that led to a 99-yard scoring march. Tremel Davis recovers from his own 20, has room to the near side. 25, picks up a block, 30, and he's upended at the 33-yard line. Has to be frustrating. Tremel Davis, who only sees time as the kick return and punt return man, nearly had himself a long run.
Well, with 3:21 left, this would mean so much to the Tigers right here. If they go on for another touchdown, you're talking about a lot of momentum going into the half, and they'll get the ball back in the second half.
I'm sure Tom Kraft is talking to his guys about this is not over yet. You still have 33 minutes left of football remaining, but each minute and each second, really, each yard is oh so crucial for a Tigers team that last week it it came to the final few seconds as Allo was picked to seal the game with only 42 left on the clock. King hands off to Foster with a head of steam out to the 30, into the second level, breaks off on another man, and he's out to around the 41-yard line. Tackle made yet again by Christian Wu. He's been a busy man here in the first half.
A guy who's like in every single tackle for Long Beach. But what about Denzel Foster right there? It's good to see him back in play.
Yeah, Foster, pistol back, gets the first down and keeps on chugging all the way out to near midfield, the 47-yard line for Denzel Foster. Now make it 5 straight rushing first downs here for the Tigers ever since that last drive.
Denzel Foster tends to do it with speed and moves. Right there, deciding to do it with patience, just following his blockers up front.
If there's one problem for a Long Beach team that has put record books literally into big-time consideration for their statistical performances, this is a team that is among, in the top 10, the smallest in Southern California. King will take it himself across midfield, and the tackle's made at the 49-yard line by, I talk about the lack of size, 5'7" defensive back Keontae Goudeau, the freshman. Boy, I mean, I was probably taller than that in, the 5th grade? I don't. Understandably, these guys are very good, but I'm telling you something, partner. This is a undersized unit, and I've been surprised, at least to this point, that guys like 6'2" Isaac Whitney, 6'4" Matthew Moore, haven't had more of an impact.
It's just a matter of time. We saw it in the last touchdown pass by Nicholas King, a jump ball in the end zone. So we're bound to see some more of it soon.
Jermel Walker, that was his second touchdown. He is the freshman for the Tigers. Jermel Walker, 18.9 yards per catch. Only his 11th reception of the season, but he's going to be a fun one to watch, partner, here in next season for the Tigers, or this year.
Yeah, he is. And I'm surprised right now with the minute 20 and counting that RCC is not hurrying up.
They do have 3 timeouts. Into the game is Michael Stallone, Isaac Whitney, and Darius Jeter, and I'll name the rest, but it doesn't matter. A timeout call by Tom Kraft. With 1:16 to go, they still have 2 timeouts remaining, and they lead by 6.
Right there, too much confusion on the field. Everybody was looking at everybody instead of looking towards the sideline. Nobody was on the same page, so Tom Kraft electing to call a timeout and settle things down. And hey, 13-7, RCC in the lead. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Oh, I apologize. 1:16 to go. What's dangerous, Dan, I would like to get your point on this. Last 3 games, we mentioned it earlier, 33 points per game allowed. They only have defensively 1 interception. The Tigers got that in the first 5 minutes of action tonight, and they have 6 times that much over the last 2 weeks. So this is a team that defensively has struggled, and now they're in jeopardy of falling behind by 13 points if they give up another score.
It's a matter of time before the RCC depth chart takes effect over the Long Beach City depth chart.
Right.
I mean, hey, all the talent seems to be on the Riverside side as
King off of a pass rush out to the 35 and slides at the 31. That'll be a scamper of 14 yards for number 17. Nicholas King moved the chains, and Dan, you're happy about that.
Yeah, it's good to see Nicholas King back on the run, finally getting outside the pocket. I guess Tom Kraft right there says, hey, I'll give you the green light. Go ahead. If you see a lane, take it.
He's also given the green light to Jermel Walker. He's now into the game following really only playing about 4 games this season. He's pushed out to the near-hand side, 101 against 5'9" Goudeau. Back to throw. King looking right, going his way, but over the head. You knew that one from the beginning. King just a little too much on that pass. Now I'll make it 2nd and 10.
We've been talking about it since Nicholas King became the starter. The one thing he has to improve on is that deep throw. It seems like he puts a little bit too much mustard on it and always seems to overthrow his intended receiver.
I would not be afraid to go to Jermel Walker's way again. Goudeau, 5'7", as we mentioned, 6'1" sophomore Jermel Walker is. It's a 6-inch difference between the receiver and the cornerback. Going to Walker's way, a low pass is incomplete. King would love to have the last 2 throws back because he could have 2 completions. Now make it 3rd and 10 instead of what may as well could have been a touchdown.
Right here, I would elect to go to do something down the middle right here. I just want to get myself a shot for Jimmy Camacho to put up an extra 3 points for me. Or
we've mentioned his range is around 45. It'd be 47 from here. That'd be a long kick by him. King looking left. Pass rush coming, in trouble. Can't give up a sack, and he will. That's going to be a loss of 17 yards for the quarterback. No, make it 16. And it doesn't really matter. The Tigers just moved themselves out of field goal range. For a team that has really been oh so impressive, they will go into halftime, barring a late timeout by the Vikings, 13-7 lead, but left points on the table.
Big stop right there by the Vikings, holding Nicholas King in that pocket and keeping him there.
Personally, I know it's still maybe too late. I would call a timeout and just take a shot to the end zone.
That's
with
a great call.
One play to go. We're clocked down to 3, 2, and that'll be it. At halftime, the Tigers lead 13-7. The Vikings got on the board early with a 1-yard touchdown scamper by Zach Zaphael. And ever since, 10 unanswered points by the Tigers. But I'm sure Tom Kraft is thinking it could have been more.
This game right here, not a lot of action other than that touchdown pass by Nicholas King. But other than that, it's been a game all about fundamentals. Who's the more technically sound team tonight is going to come out on top? Who's the better team fundamentally is going to be the better team and the champion?
Well, Nicholas King, trotting into the halftime locker room, is thinking, I should have thrown that one away. He did that almost with regularity last week in their win against Mount Sac. But so far tonight, Nicholas King, you take a look at the numbers, not very impressive outside of the long drive. 11 of 20, 135 yards, a touchdown, but has been sacked twice. It wasn't at all last week. And 6 carries for only 15 yards there for Nicholas King. Only 1 yard, 1.7 per carry there for the quarterback out of Westchester.
A lot to improve on, obviously, for Nicholas King.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him early on right here in this first half where he struggled inside the pocket.
That's pretty generous.
Yeah.
This is a team that is facing one of the top scoring defenses in the state of California. They rank 9th with 23.6 points per game. But one thing that I got to mention there, Dan, it's because of the size of those cornerbacks. You have 5'7" Godot, 5'9" Wu, and also another man, Daylon Kaysen, 5'11". Their top 3 cornerbacks all stand at under 6 feet. And that's the reason why they rank last in the conference with only 8 picks this year. They had their hands on a couple, but dropped both of them.
Right. And here's something that's been working for RCC, at least tonight. It's the run game. On 21 carries, 84 yards, almost over 100 in just the first half.
First half.
That's pretty impressive. But the same thing for the Vikings, already 75 yards on 19 carries.
Well, the drive of the day was the 99-yard touchdown march to get themselves up 13-7, and really that put all the momentum back in the Tigers' hands. It was the Vikings who led by 1. They were defensively really imposing their will against Riverside, but that most of those yards came against Denzel Foster, who's pretty darn good himself.
Denzel Foster already 68 yards and averaging 6 yards a carry early on. So he's doing what he does best, and that's taking the ball and controlling it and making moves.
Well, many may ask you, what is the implications for tonight's ball game? Again, Dan Gadino, the Chenoweth crew, and also Nick Rice joining you live from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Long Beach, California. It's a chilly 59 here off the coast of the Pacific, about 30 miles south of Los Angeles. But in this ball game here, Dan, the implications are plenty when you're talking about the playoffs for junior college. The winner of this ball game, if Riverside is able to pull it out, they will claim themselves, and they have every right to do so, beating the 2 top dogs. They will be the National Central Conference champions, this being the toughest conference in California. That's potentially as impressive a feat as any.
And arguably in the nation, we could
really
say.
Right, because junior college, California dominates that more than any. They have more teams in Cali that are in the Dirty 30, which is the rankings for junior college football, over any other state in the nation. But as we get back to this, Riverside wins. They call themselves conference champions. They call themselves a playoff team and the number 1 seed in the postseason. Meanwhile, for Long Beach City College, with a win, they could claim themselves as the runners-up for the conference championship. They would have to win one of their final 2 to call themselves that. But really, if the Vikings lose, they're going to have to hope that they can win out and Mount Sac loses one of their final 2. So this is about as crucial a game for any of these ball clubs, especially Long Beach City College.
Like I said, this is the game of the week nationally.
Right.